science of start for all of you viewers out there, because this is about half of the race. I know it's just one ramp, but starts kind of can win races or totally botch and obliterate races. So I'm going to tell you a little bit why. So when an athlete comes to a track, whether they've been here before, they have to come at the start and kind of look at the angles that go into the start curve. So we're here at ladies start. Bobsled and men's start is above us, and the track is actually built for men's start. So if you can tell, there's a track that comes in from the right, and that's where the men and bobsleds come in. So that start curve is actually built for the angle of men's start. So the men get it kind of nice and easy. They don't really have to deal with start curves normally, like how the women in doubles have to do it. So we've got a track coming in from the right, and we also have a little track coming in from the left. I believe this is what they'll call junior start here. So when you're learning the track, you'll start lower and then work your way up higher. So anyways, overview of the start curve. So why this is important. I first want to point out, you see those blue lines in the track right there? That is where the timing eye starts. So timing doesn't start when they pull off of these beautiful handles down here. Timing starts when they first initiate that clock right there, that timing eye. And so what people will do is they will try and trip the timing eye. I'm going to see if I can try and explain this. So this is more prevalent for double sleds because their feet are higher than a normal single sled. So let's say, for instance, this is the timing eye. When they pull off, what they'll try and do is kick their feet over the timing eye, so it actually starts, like, it gives them maybe a few inches past the timing eye until the timing starts. Does that make sense? I don't know if I explained that very well, but essentially they'll try and trip the timing eye. So watch for the double sleds. When they pull off, they'll paddle, and the top man will kick his feet up to try and get over this timing eye so they can save few thousandths, maybe a hundredth of a second, which can kind of depict the whole race. So I'm going to continue to kneel down here because this makes more sense to look at the start like this for me. So I feel like I'm in a presentation in school. This is great. Okay, when we come into the start curve, angles are incredibly important. Okay, so if you come onto the left side of the ramp, you'll see that you're pretty much perpendicular going into the start curve, which makes you're pointed straight up into the curve, and then you're going to skid the whole way down. Major problem, race is over. You might as well just put your feet down and get out of the track at that point. I'm just kidding. You wouldn't do that. But that's what it feels like when that happens. So athletes are going to sit here. They're going to pull off. When they paddle, they're trying to get the sled to the right of the track because then it's an easier angle to get around. So when you watch these races, you'll notice when a start curve is good or bad. If they can make it smooth and an even line, then A+, they did it well. If they go straight into it or to the left, then you'll see the sled kind of skid and you'll hear it as well. So if they do it correctly, they'll be on the right side. They're actually going to hook, something called a hook. I don't think anyone's really talked about this before, but it's not a type of steer that you do down the track. You only do it at the start. So what happens is you'll steer. So for this one specifically, you'll push down with the right foot and you'll pull your heel under the left runner. So it kind of steers it more aggressively to get it around. So when you see an athlete kind of pull their knee up, that's what they're doing. It's called a hook. So anyways, I could sit here and probably talk about a start curve for many, many more minutes because I've sat here with coaches and they give me all the scenarios of a start curve, but you should just know when they pull off, there's so much thought and thinking that goes into this. Some athletes do 3 paddles, some do 4, depends on how fast you are, but just know if you can get this start curve correctly, it puts you an insane amount. I mean, your timing is just way better. So I'll leave this with you. 100th at the top ends up being a 10th at the bottom of the track. So if someone has you beat on a start by 100th, then you know that you have to make up a lot of time. So some of the fastest starters are the ones that win gold medals. You can't win golds unless you have fast starts. So anyways, I know you've been losing sleep over how to do start curves, and you're so blessed that I just gave you all that information today. But that is how you do start curve, and it's the same for every track. Every start curve is just different, but there's a whole technique that goes in behind this. So anyways,